Hey guys, it's Bart Johnson here, NAB 2015 on the Convention Center floor here, and I am here with David over at SmallHD, and you guys have another new monitor that looks really cool, really compact, and got a lot of features. So what do you got here?
All right, so this here we're introducing our 502 monitor and our Sidefinder EVF, and it's a pretty exciting monitor because it's 5 inches and full HD 1080p. And it's super lightweight. It's actually only 8 ounces, so
wow.
It feels like almost nothing. You add it to your gimbal or your rig and not even really notice you've got a monitor, but it gives you all the added benefits of having a 1080p screen with high resolution scopes and focus assist, exposure assist, etc. A lot of people want touch screens, but it's not really ideal because you get fingerprints and all that stuff. We're also looking through a loop and EVF, so you don't really want to see fingerprints through that.
Yeah,
so we didn't
you get pretty intimate with the screen you're looking at when you're looking.
You don't want to be looking at fingerprints, basically. So we wanted to kind of duplicate the interactiveness of a touchscreen without you touching the screen. So we came up with this joystick idea that is really responsive and pretty cool. So I'm going to show you some of the things it can do.
Cool.
First of all, if you want to zoom in on your smartphone, you pinch it, right?
Yeah.
With ours, instead of that, you just push it up, and we're zoomed into the image. So you want to get critical focus on, this leaf. You can zoom in real fast. Now, if I just click it, I can now move around in real time around the image. You can see down here that
it shows you what part of the image we're looking at.
Where you're looking at the image, right? So imagine again with your iPhone, you've zoomed in, and now you're moving around.
Now you're scrolling around.
So that same exact zooming effect that we're all used to is now on the monitor, but you're not touching the screen.
You haven't touched the screen at all.
And then as far as the interface, in all these monitors and things, you have buttons
all over the place, yeah.
And sometimes you can't remember what the button is, where the button is, what button you want to push. So we've added pages, which again is familiar from your smartphone, right?
Yeah.
You've got all these pages that you scroll left and right to view your different apps. Well, it's the same thing. If I go right, I can see different pages. If I go left, I can see my pages.
Oh,
and
with all your different tools on it.
Down, I can see all my pages next to each other. They're all a live feed, and I can see there's my focus assist, my exposure assist, my plain image. So you can go to a page this way too. Let me go look at my focus assist, and to get into that, I just click the wheel, right? Or not the wheel, sorry, the joystick.
The joystick.
And now I'm in my focusing page. So the idea is that once you have all your pages set up with your favorite features, it won't be going into menus anymore. You'll just be going left and right.
It really is like a smartphone kind of layout. Like even just looking at that, it looks like you had like some sort of web browser or something up on like an iPhone.
Exactly.
It's really intuitive.
And I like to think of this mode as like a line of rack monitors, right?
Yeah.
And each one has a different tool on it. You're just walking down it. Exposure is good. Focus is good. Things like that, and these are all your tools. But what's cool is this has so many features that you could have waveform, you could have a 3D lookup table, all that stuff on here for quick review. So
and you can customize which ones are in there,
right? Right, yeah. So to do that, if I'm in one, right, I've got a blue focus assist here. I push on my joystick and I get the focus, sorry, I pushed twice. You get your tools menu here. You got your focus assist, peaking, look. This is one I made. So if I want to, I can turn off my focus assist and turn on peaking instead, or I can turn on them both. And I can turn on a look to change the color of the image. And
so
then I
can
just
applied
add more.
a LUT to it, right?
I did, yeah. I can take off the focus assist so you can see it. So that's a LUT now. This was actually shot in log, and this is a green LUT that I'm putting on top of it. So, but if you want to, you just customize your pages by going Add New Tool, and then you've got all these different types of tools: expose, focus, overlay, scale, and we're going to be adding even more. Framing. So if I wanted to, I could go in here and I could go to aspect, and I could go ahead and put on an aspect scale. I've got a 4:3. And if I want to, I can go over, and I can actually adjust the ratio, do a 239:1, a 16:9, or make a completely custom one.
So it'll show you your crop lines while you're monitoring.
And that helps you with framing, so you don't have a boom mic in the way, you're not cutting off someone's arm.
You know where your frame is going to end. You don't have to guess.
Yeah, and you can change the style from matte to line, you can change the color. Anyways, we can get into the details, but the fact of the matter is every feature on here is super customizable.
Yeah, you can do almost anything. I mean, I've never seen the color tweaking with you.
Well, and it's everything. Like our focus assist, I think I showed it was blue. We make it any color. Our exposure assist, our zebra lines, your cameras have zebras, right? And they show you IRE levels. You can set the IRE level to anything you want. You can set it to 20 and 30 and find anything between there and make them blue, zebra lines. So the idea is that it's fully customizable, what you do is you get the monitor, you'd set all your pages the way you want them, and then you kind of never have to go back into those menus because you can just go left and right. So here's a false color. A false color will just show you what's over and under as far as exposure goes. And if you want, you can turn on a little IRE guide. So now this guide will say anything red is 100 IRE or greater. So that's going to be overexposed.
Yeah.
Anything pink is going to be underexposed, or purple is going to be kind of underexposed. So it kind of gives you an idea of what's over and what's under.
So many tools in there.
So yeah, tons of tools. That's not really the important part. The important part is the usability.
Yeah.
That you can go just quickly go left and right to access anything you need.
You're not going through a ton of one folder, subfolder, menu, select, and all that.
Worse. Or with like a stylus on a touch, you know, that's even worse when you're trying to, because here's the thing, when you're at work, you got a director waiting on you to start shooting, and you're like, so hold on, I gotta check the focus, I gotta check the peaking. It's obnoxious, right? They just want you to be ready. And with this, you can be ready before anyone else and be like, guys, we're ready, I'm waiting.
Perfect.
It makes you a better shooter.
Never waiting on camera again, right?
Yeah, exactly. So the really exciting part about this is the EVF attachment. So you get this awesome 1080p monitor, but you know, for only $300 more, you get an EVF, a full EVF. That is just like any other EVF you get, and it's very hard to find any SDI EVFs under $1,500.
Yeah.
So you're getting, this is actually, that's the cost. It's $1,500 if you want to get this whole unit.
For the whole package?
With the EVF,
okay.
yeah. So if you want
and
to
that is a beefy
unit,
EVF. There's a lot more to that than just a piece of plastic that's strapping on there. And I see a lot just happened even when you put it on.
That's right.
So what's going on?
Yeah, just by putting it on, we get our smart windows activated, and you can see my histogram is live right there. My signal, it actually reads the signal that we're actually sending to it. So if you have a DP or someone around that wants to see what signal you're recording in, he knows immediately,
it's
you're
right there.
using this. I guess that kind of gives him the power to be more picky, but whatever. It's useful information.
It's there, yeah.
You know, and you can change that to be like your battery meters, things like that.
So these windows are customizable as well?
Yes. Well, they will be.
They will be.
Very soon. We're working on it right now. See, we're kind of looking for customer feedback on that because we want to know what they want to see there. We know we're going to do battery meter, so you can know how much battery life is back. And we're thinking about doing some other scopes like waveform and things like that.
Very
but beyond that, we'd love like feedback, I guess. See what else people would find useful.
And that's cool. Let people try it out, see how they feel, and then with a make you can make those changes.
And we do all our firmware updates for free, so it's no big deal.
Very cool.
Now the EVF, you look through it, it gives you most of the screen. It actually cuts off a little bit so we can have these smart windows, right? So that's part of the screen right there that you're seeing through.
Yeah.
And that means that the resolution of the EVF is not 1080p. It's actually a little better than 720p. It's still the highest resolution, non-dedicated EVF on the market, but it does cut down a little resolution. And the reason for that is if you had an EVF for this whole screen, it would end up being quite a bit larger. And the thing with EVFs is you don't want them to be huge. You want them to fit on your camera, fit on your rig, and not be in the way. And so the way we set this up, especially with this bracket, it lets you mount it very close to the camera, so you get that real close to the camera feel.
Yeah, it looks like
EVF that you're looking
you've got
for.
options. You've got '20 mounting there if you want to do that. You even have, it looks like a clamp for, is that 15 millimeter rods?
15 millimeter
so
rod.
you can just strap it right on there.
Yeah, so it's got all types of things. Pull it out here, just so we can see it at this angle here.
Oh yeah, you can see the profile of it.
Here's the back of it. You got SDI and HDMI in and out. And,
will it do a cross conversion?
It will do a cross conversion.
So you can take one in and send the other out.
That's right.
Very cool.
That's coming in the next firmware
That's
as well,
awesome.
but it's coming soon.
Nice.
I believe it already does one of them. I can't remember which one off the top of my head, but it already does one of them. These are LP6 batteries, which is from your Canon 5D Mark II, 5D Mark III.
7D series, 6D,
yeah. Right now we're using a Canon 2 power adapter.
So you
Those
just
are
got
on
a dummy battery.
Yeah,
just
those
running
are
it
on
off
Amazon.
of AC.
We're gonna carry our own. We don't have any yet, but they also make them. Lettuce, that company makes some that are LP6 to DTAP.
Oh,
which
okay.
is very popular.
Yeah, you can power it off of all one big brick battery.
All off an Anton Bauer. This right here is actually a little prototype hot shoe mount.
Oh, okay.
Normally you wouldn't have this on the EVF. I just do because I stole it from this camera.
Okay.
But normally it'll just be '20 mounting point here, '20 mounting point.
So you can attach it however you'd like there, in addition to the bracket mounting. But that way you can mount this without the EVF.
Exactly, exactly. So, and finally, the last thing I guess I haven't mentioned is the fact that It comes with a wireless remote that you can actually mount right here.
Oh, okay.
And then it turns. And when it turns, it's mounted like this, right? So your joystick and your button are here. So if you imagine you've got it up against your face, you can control it.
And your camera body would be
Yeah,
here.
your camera body would be here, and you can control it right here.
And you have a little joystick off to the side.
so you don't have to go like this to try to control it. Now this works,
but it's much easier.
nicer to have it here. Or take it off, mount it to your handles, and you can do wireless remote there.
Very nice.
And that comes with it. One last thing, it does have an adjustable diopter.
That's important.
Which goes from -2 to +4. So quite a wide range of configuration there.
Cool, so you can customize it to your eye. You're going to be able to see everything.
Exactly. The monitor is already shipping. It's $11.99, and if you want to get the viewfinder, you can get that later, just for an additional $300, since we don't have it yet. That's going to be shipping in summer. But if it is summer, then you can go ahead and just order both as a bundle and probably save some money on our site.
Very cool, very cool. Well, it looks great. It's an amazing size. I love the fact that you've included that sort of what everybody knows is basically how to use a smartphone interface, and that it's customizable, so customizable. I think it's great, man. I think you guys are going to do pretty well with this.
Yeah, appreciate it.
I'm looking forward to playing around with one and checking it out. Thanks again, man. I really appreciate it. Guys, be sure to check out SmallHD, the new 502, and the EVF attachment for it coming out very soon. And stay tuned to the channel. I'm going to have a lot more from NAB 2015.